Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
He
Is
got it.
Arun here?
He
Yep.
started already.
Okay, you started the last one. Perfect. Okay. Is my dad ready? Yeah, okay. So,
It seems like Cheryl's voice is breaking up.
Oh,
am I clear?
I can hear you
Yeah, I can
perfectly.
hear him too.
Okay. So I'll
So
start.
I hear only Column so far. I cannot hear anyone else.
Okay.
Mm,
Cheryl has been talking
But
the
I
entire
don't
time.
have Cheryl's voice.
Cheryl,
I'm
say
here.
something.
Yeah, I've been talking
I
the
could
whole
not hear
time.
him.
Well, Thomas, we can hear him not good.
Okay, so I can hear only Column, not anyone else. I hear la diffusion and code, that's all. Do you want me to log out and log in again or
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, let's do
try
that.
that. Try that.
okay. But I heard Nasif right now, but I can actually stop show mute from my side.
I'm not muted.
No, it's not.
He's talking, Thomas.
Can
He's
can
Now
you
I
hear?
hear you.
Can you hear us?
That's the only time I hear him.
Yeah, I'm not muted. I haven't been muted for a while.
Can we start?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's let's
so
let's
so that's the
start.
case. If everyone can hear me now, I can hear you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, okay. I can start it, right? Okay.
Yes.
So let
Sure.
me share my screen again. Why the computer will do this to me all the time? All right. And what are you seeing on my screen? Nothing.
Okay.
No, we don't see anything right now.
Okay. Let
We
me
see we
just
see
log
your
out
we,
and click
we,
back
we
in.
see your screen, but it's not the
The
maybe you have two
PowerPoint.
screens. Maybe you have two screens, so you have to define the one that we want to see because
Oh,
we can see your screen, but it's not the one. It's just showing the the meeting screen.
Thomas. Can you hear Arun? Thomas.
Thomas went to Avranco.
Okay, he's back. He loves his computer, but the computer doesn't want to cooperate.
The computer does not love him back. It's all right. Figure it out.
So what about now? Can you hear me and see the screen?
Yeah.
We can
It's
hear
just
you. We
black.
can't see your screen.
Yeah, I cannot hear Shire.
Thomas,
I could not hear
it's on your
anything.
side.
Okay.
I can hear
Let me,
everybody.
sorry about that. Give me 1 more minute and I'll try maybe from my cell phone. That's what I was. You can
Do
see
you
my
want me
screen
to
still
come up
though.
there?
You can see my screen, but you cannot have my voice. So
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
can
can see
see
your screen
you.
now.
you can see my screen. I hear Nasif and Christelle, but it's not.
Yeah, I can also see your screen.
We can see your
Okay.
screen now.
So let me just go try to go ahead, and if something wrong, then we'll change avenue. All right. Sorry about the delay. So today book is Paul Richard Almanack is by Benjamin Franklin. And then when he was writing, he used the username Richard Saunders. That's what he used. And the book really is not book. It's so many publication that he was doing from 1732 to 1758. So that's the history behind that. It's only later that people put all together, all of the proverb and stuff together. My presentation of today will focus more on the life of Benjamin Franklin. Okay, facts about him, what to know about him. He was the 15th child in a family of 17. So it means back in the day, people were having like a lot of children. He received only 2 years of formal school, and he ended up being apprenticed to his brother James. But later they didn't get along, and his brother's job was printing and publishing. So he published something in his brother printing business, and the brother got upset. That's finally make him to move. And his life also, at some point, he was a scientist because he tried and did some experiment in electricity. He got involved in politics, and he's one of the father of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. He later moved in France as a diplomat during the war, and he is one of the founder. Oh, he's the founder of University of Pennsylvania that we still have today. He founded also the American Philosophical Society and some other stuff that he worked on. So, like I was saying, I will focus more on his life. I know you guys read it, but let's go through it together. So, part of his life. For his family background, they were not rich, they were poor. As a child, Benjamin hungered for book and knowledge. And the first book he read is Pilgrim's Progress. It's something like maybe later we need to look. If it's something interesting, we can add to our schedule. Like I was saying, he labeled his brother James' newspaper. Intention still up when his brother found out he was an anonymous publisher because he was sending some of his stuff to the printing and they were publishing. But when the brother found, he got upset and they didn't get along. So he decided to move from Boston to Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, he found another job in the printing business still and fell in love with the owner's daughter, Deborah. He was 18 at that time. And he was doing well in working, but he's still poor until he got the connection with the governor of Pennsylvania. He offered him, a joint business, and they ended up sending him out in Europe to learn. But the governor has no credit, so he ended up staying over there in Europe. When he came back, he applied himself to achieve, right? He tried self-sacrifice, goal, ambition, perseverance. He was doing all of that. But again, the bad news for him when he returned is his beloved girlfriend was already married to someone else. I think they set him up to Europe so they can marry the girl they didn't want. But just me saying that they didn't want for a poor person to marry the daughter. That's why they set him and they talked to him to go to Europe for something that is not real. So just we have to be mindful to not be personal conclusion. I then tell fact about him also when the girlfriend husband passed suddenly, he married Deborah right after Deborah was married someone. So he ended up marrying her, but they live in poverty for a few years. When Franklin was 27 years of age, he evolved the idea which opened the road to fame and fortune. This was Paul Richard Almanack. The first numbers had a tremendous sale. The general recognition and respect gained for Franklin through the Almanac gave him the opportunity to enter public life. Later, he went to Paris as special envoy to France for the colony. He returned and he was received like a prince. He returned 9 years later at age 77. Franklin's life has been called the most interesting and the most successful life by an American. At this point, I would like to make a little pause to ask we all to stay calm a little bit, to actively listen. Someone is making a noise.
That's Charlie. Charlie, can you mute, please?
Yes. Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. Thank you.
So I want you to stay calm, to actively listen to from here, to pause and reflect. And these are some of the questions. What could Benjamin Franklin life teach me? Why we still talking about him today? And then following are some of my answer from reading his story. Life is like it has always been. Life is not straight. Success is not free. Don't sell yourself short. Life is peace, conflict, prison, war, love. Death is certain and unpredictable. I'm just curious. He lived to 77 years back then in 1790 when he passed. And at that time, life expectancy in the US was around 40. Most of the kids would die at early age, but the people who survive, the average would die around 40. But this guy lived at 77. So it's worth to try to learn about his philosophy, to go through some of his proverbs, because in the almanac he put so many proverbs, and different books have different proverbs. I just picked 10 from the one in archive.org that I'm gonna share with you. But before that, this is the gold rule, the rule that guided him through his career. And this rule is to go straight forward in doing what appeared to be right, leaving the consequences to providence. I would like to read it again. To go straight forward in doing what appeared to be right, leaving the consequences to providence. So that's Benjamin Franklin's philosophy of life. Do right and leave the rest. So to finish, I picked randomly 10 of the proverbs, and I would like to go over them and read quick. And I know you have also your preferred one that you're going to share in a few minutes. So from this book, item number 23, it says, a light purse is a heavy curse. A light purse is a heavy curse. Item 88, blessed is he that expect nothing, for he shall never be disappointed. Item 124, don't throw stone at your neighbor if your own window are glass. 131, early to bed and early to rise make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. 132, eat few suppers, and you will need few medicine. 140. Fear not death, for the sooner we die, the longer shall we be immortal. 163. God helps them that help themselves. 277. If you know how to spend less than you get, you have the philosopher's stone. I think the stone is now here. 381. No gains without pains. 563. Time is an herb that cures all diseases. My preferred one are these two. The light purse is a heavy curse. And then the second one for me is early to bed and early to rise make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I will let you taking the floor, and this is the end. Thank you. Remember Carnegie Hall. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Practice, practice, my son.
Practice, my cousin.
Are you ready to pay
Okay.
the price?
Good job,
Yeah.
Thomas.
Okay. So Shira, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. So I want to thank my dad for the great presentation. Um, this book is a bit different from its format is a bit different from the ones we've read in the past. So, um, if you have any parts you like, feel free to mention them. And now the floor is open. Does anyone want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
No one? Should I go then?
Yeah, go ahead. I
Yes.
thought you
Do it.
wanted to go.
Okay, I'll go. It was interesting seeing what because when people talk about Benjamin Franklin, they purely talk about his life after the revolution, right? Or during the revolution, then after is the revolution, right? And it was insightful to see what he was doing before the revolution, like what he spent his time doing, right? And it gives some insight into like the kinds of things he did during the revolution because he does a lot, but I would say the biggest thing I personally know him for, right, is the Declaration of Independence. um I find it ironic that the quote, what is it called, all men are made equal, right, is a quote from him. And he started off his life poor, yet ironically he came to own slaves later on in life, right? Yet he speaks on all men being equal. Another thing I find interesting about him is the way he wished to see early America be shaped, right? And I think this book was like an insight into how he used to see the world, right? Because could you go back to the first slide? Right. So he's right. It's published annually from 1732 to 1758, and a lot of the big decisions that he makes that influence the kind of country that was made, America, right? Those decisions happened in the 1780s, right? Early 1790s, right? So I'm just curious, like, how did it change over time? How did his viewpoint change over time? And I think that's something I would just have to like read on later, like what kind of life he lived, if he had a biography of any kind. But that's just generally my thoughts on the book. So I'll now hand the floor over to anyone else who wishes to speak.
Okay. Thank
Well, thank you for your
Thank
contribution.
you.
Yep.
Thank you, Terrell.
Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you, sir.
I put the thing on one hand and
So does anyone want to volunteer? My mom, Charlie, Christelle.
I can go. I'm trying to set this phone right. Okay. So, well, the book is, as Kirill said, the book is really, really different. Um, First of all, I want to thank Thomas for the great presentation, and I love the way you emphasize on Benjamin Franklin live, because when I was listening, I listened to that part multiple times. Like I will go back and listen again. And he was poor. He grew up poor, right? And that I believe that poverty kind of puts a lot of essence in his desire to be rich, to thrive in life, right? So had hunger of reading, because he knows that reading, by reading books, by learning uh from other, he can thrive. So I like that part of wanting to read, wanting to learn. And also, in his proverbs, there are few that we already use as we have other version of it in our own language, like French or French. But and there are few that I like, and I put down here. And you can see that it's those proverbs are kind of alive, and you can see them in our
You
daily
put it in
lives.
the chat?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we can.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so the first one
Yeah.
I like, and I put down here, is a full belly makes dull brain, right? And at one point, I think in one of those book, uh, if it's not Ikigai, it will be the Danish book, and they say you have to eat 80%. Uh, we have to,
Mm-hmm.
when we eat, our belly has to be full 80%, right? To
Mm,
be functional, for our body to be really functional. And I think that's proverb kind of ties to that, right? Full
mm,
belly makes dull brain. And you can see that sometimes for lunch, when you eat too much, you come back to work, you are sleepy, and
mm-hmm.
that's matched perfectly to that those instances. So I think that is right. You know, let's be mindful of those philosophy. And a light purse is a heavy curse, that Thomas used all the time. Uh,
Yeah,
what
Shelly,
he usually
Shelly, you
say,
remember that one?
Akwema mesi azonyanya.
Pardon? Azoya. I wanted to say that.
So yeah, that is one that I like. So whenever you have money in your purse, don't take it out too soon. Let it hang there a little bit so your purse can stay heavy, right? So, but
Bingo.
that's a joke I'm making. But yeah, there are so many of these. And here he said cheese and the salt meat should be eaten sparingly, right? So as we know, cheese, too much fat and salt are not good for our body, right? It's usually leads to heart disease. So, and here he come and said it should be eaten sparingly, so rarely, right? To prevent those diseases. So I really like listening all these proverbs, and I took some of them. I'm gonna kind of stick to and repeat and adhere to. So
Mhm.
thank you again, Thomas, and thank you all for this club.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Papa Colon.
Tackle.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
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 you.
you
you.
very much.
All right, I can go ahead if
Yeah.
that's okay. Thank you, Frank and Davy, for the quick and nice presentation. The book is full of knowledge. Some key points of mine that was mentioned is avoiding stupidity.
Mhm.
Um, if you know um, where you're gonna go die, you will never go there. Like avoid doing things that you know will end up being bad from the get go. Um, and then human misjudgment. It says one of the most famous section in his speech of psychology of human misjudgment explain cognitive bias and how they lead people to make a poor decision. Um, just the ability to differ with things, to understand what can be misleading, and making the appropriate decision kind of in life, and making rational and clear thinking. He said uh, is the highlight. Discipline, patient, lifelong learning, and rational behavior are the foundation for wealth and success. And then the last one is value investing in wisdom. Is Even though it may not be a traditional a manual, it includes principle that shaped Buffett's life. I think as they explain in the book, they needed to just think about things before you do it. People used to tell me, especially my dad, he would say, try to think about things before you say it. There's no need to rush. And I think when you are at certain age, you think you know it all, so you don't even pay attention to some little stuff that can really help you think better and really do life better. But as we're growing, we're understanding how to best live, so it can lead to less mistake. Is we're human, we'll make mistake, but the more we use our judgment, the more we try to think through things before acting. Um, it helps us make a better decision, and ultimately not necessary in terms of money, healthy life, but in terms of decision making, the way we think, how we embrace things, how we try to rationalize things. So the book is full of wonderful um, advice and wisdom that we can all take and share and try to use some of it in our daily life. So that's my those are my key takes away. And thank you everyone for your input tonight.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me quickly go. First of all, I had to thank Fred about his presentation. Even though at the beginning he has a little difficulty, he catch up and trying to go to beyond school by being faster. So that was great. And he, in his question, he was asking what this book teach us. First of all, I have a few knowledge that you can get it from him is the fact that even though that he was poor, he was lucky to be in an environment where he's the one printing the books. And when you are a printer and you print the books, you have to read them if there is no mistakes. So that was very, very advantageous for him to know quicker. So that was good. And what does it teach us as well is the finance. That's why the proverb 277 that Fred Thomas shows us, I like it because he says, when you spend less than what you get, you find the solution to all your problems. You find this the stone. What stone is this? I can't even remember. So is what
A
he I would
philosopher's
yeah
stone.
yeah philosopher stone. So that's one thing that
Yeah,
I
Thomas
really
share
really
the slide.
yeah has the
Yeah, pull
philosopher's
back.
stone. So that's really really important. And also, why are we still talking about him compared to other founders? Is the fact that not a lot of people knows that, but he is the person who initiates the Library of Congress
Mm,
by donating all his books
Mhm.
to the
mhm.
libraries. And when we say libraries, we say knowledge. And when we say knowledge, people are still going to those environments. So we are still talking about it. Another thing that he did, and very, very powerful, and the power of the compound interest is the fact that in his will, he says that he is donating $200, I think, or 1,000. I would say 1,000. Yeah, he put 1,000 in his will and said that he locked it for 200 years. So it's only after 200 years that you guys can be able to get the interest and the capital. And he said that the capital and the interest will be divided into Boston and Philadelphia, and they will decided to do anything with those that money, but it has to be in the public interest. So
Wow.
when the money is locked, and after 200 years they broke that piggy bank and share it, people will still talking about you because where there's money, there's happiness, you know. So people will be talking about you. And also he knows that, and he said after 200 years you break the piggy bank, you share this, and also take a proceed, a capital, another capital from that proceed, and lock it for another 200 years. So definitely what he did, after even 600 years they will be talking about him because the money will be, I mean, getting up, and it's what they call it a legacy. He left a big legacy and people are still talking about it. So definitely is a great book. The style is a little bit different. It seems like a little bit old, but you have a lot of knowledge through the proverbs, and also is calling us to write things down, to leave some books behind, because if he didn't write those proverbs, maybe people might forgot all those proverbs already, or we might also forget about him. But by leaving some books behind, we are still talking about it. And thank you a lot for the presentation, and thank you for the person who suggests this book.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pharaoh.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I will, if you guys don't mind, let me chip in quickly, as most of the things that I would like to talk about have already been mentioned, but it won't hurt re-emphasizing my key takeaways. Thank you very much, Fred Thomas, for your presentation, and
Thank
thank
you.
you, yeah, thank you particularly for the proverbs, this a kind of key says of Benjamin Franklin's that you have selected, and we will and we are, trying to share the wisdom that he has conveyed in those says. I really really like it. And Sister Colomb has been a little bit as ahead of my thoughts when she said that Akwema Messi Azonyanya. When you said that, as soon as he read it, I interpreted it into our local language as saying that, okay, this is where he found this. That lack of money is a very very chronic disease, and
Yeah.
it is. So yes, I made a mistake, trying to read Franklin's Almanack, and then went on and pick up Charlie Mungo's Almanack, who, luckily refer to Benjamin Franklin so many times. His book has been written at the image of Franklin, so we didn't lose that much. And I will recommend that we read that Charlie Mungo's Almanac, who is the associate of Warren Buffett. It is very interesting, and he has modernized Benjamin Franklin's book. So, and having said that, one of the key things that I will like to emphasize on is the frugality that he talk about, and smart money management. Frey Arun has already developed it a little bit, or yeah, amply, I should say, by mentioning his legacy that he has left. But by living a frugal life helps a lot to keep something behind, because he defined it, or he expressed it in the way that it is what the money left over that express or that define your riches. People are rich by what they have left over, not what they have spent or what they have shown. And he developed so much the frugality in his book, and then he gave tactics to use that frugality so much, and then went on talking about industry and hard work. He, back in those days, he has already defined work in a very capitalistic way to show how people could help others work and enjoy the work, at the same time industrializing the work by grouping people together and letting them following or implementing somebody's idea, enjoying their life while they are making the other person's dream happen, at the same time help themselves. While you are working a work organized by somebody, if today almost everybody say go look for a job, get a job. Yes, the idea of industrializing job has come from one of those people when they transcended from the idea of how do you call it, slavery, into sharing of goods that are fruit of whatever we have produced at work. So I love the idea, and I really enjoy the book, the presentation, and everybody's contribution. So thank you very much. I can't I can never be tired thanking who created this club, and all those great books that you guys have been suggesting that we are reading. I'll catch up and read this book eventually. But I'm so grateful to everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem. Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, Beyond, did you say something? Did you want to go next?
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay.
Okay, first, I want to thank Daph for the great presentation. And what I learned from the book is that it encapsulated the values of hard work, frugality, and self improvement that were that were prevalent in colonial times. Through its witty aphorisms and practical advice, it encouraged readers to embrace enlightenment ideals such as reason and personal development.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to add anything else?
Okay.
Or
Now
Bear,
that's
you
Thank
want
you,
to
Bill.
repeat that? It's so
Yeah, it is very quick.
so quick.
Bill, mommy want you to repeat. That's it. Just repeat.
okay. What I learned from the book is that it encapsulated the values of hard work, frugality, and self improvement that were prevalent during colonial times. Through its witty aphorisms and practical advice, it encouraged readers to embrace Enlightenment ideals such as reason and personal development.
Okay,
okay.
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 Yeah. It's awesome.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Bion. Good job.
Hi everyone,
Hi,
Hello.
I
Giovanna.
Hey,
think
Giovanni.
we have
and
Wow.
thank you,
Anya.
Toton Thomas, for your presentation and what I learned about what caught my attention is the beword. I think beword a little expanse of little expanse, a small
Is
leak.
Giovanni talking? It's mute
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for me.
Can't hear you, Thomas.
and
I
it's
cannot
You
hear
okay
should be
him.
now.
good.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm, I talk about what thing caught my attention. It's this sometimes beword of little expanses. A small leak will sink a great ship. When I mm, read this, I automatically ask ChatGPT how to be disciplined, then stop being a consumer and become an investor. Because most of the time when
Mhm.
I see anything, if even I don't um uh,
If you don't
if
need it, you mean?
yes, if I don't need it, I want to buy it. And after that, I'm like, but how can I do with that? I don't need it. So now I when I read the book, um, I make some resolution to try to be disciplined. So it's just how I learn about this book.
And
Oh,
Good
the
job.
that is
Good
good.
the
job.
quote
Good
I
job.
Yeah, that's
remember
good.
was beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. That one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It was a good quote.
Yeah, and what I understood from what you said is that when you see something, you want to buy it, but you really don't need it.
Yes.
Right. So I read something or I listened to something from Charlie, whatever. What's that name again, Thomas? Charlie.
Alimongo?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And he was saying that if you see something you want to buy, do not buy automatically. Save it there and come back in 24 hours and see if you still really want
Mm.
that. So
Okay.
that will give you time to think about it. And say, do I still want it or I already have something similar I can use? So it's a kind of help you make your mind around it.
Okay. Thank you for this tip. I will
Okay,
You're
try
that's
it.
great.
welcome.
I would like to add something to. I didn't read Charlie Mongo yet, but what I know from my mentor, Susie Orman,
Mhm.
is 1 month. If you see
Oh,
something and you want it,
One
You save it. You can save in your app, or you can save on something. I'm not talking about what you need.
Wait a
I'm talking
minute.
about what you want.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
you save you give yourself 1 month shot because it's easy to spend than to earn.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's easy to spend than to earn. So you give yourself time 1 month. After 1 week, you visit and see, do you still want it? If you feel like you still want it, you give it a second week. If during the first week, the second and the third, you decide at some point that it was just something that then you delete it and it's over. But if
Mm,
it, after 1 month you feel like you need it, by then you have the idea about where the money gonna come from to buy, and that's the only time you
mhm.
buy. And nowadays we have app. Back then we didn't have app in 2008, 2007, like Amazon Prime, Shein, and stuff like that. We didn't have when she was saying that. So today I would advise you, if you have Amazon on your cell phone, delete it. You have Facebook Marketplace, delete all of this stuff.
yes,
Okay.
I started.
If you want,
But too
huh?
drastic.
No,
No,
no.
you
There
go
is
to
a
your
way.
computer and
I
you
will
buy it.
And you can go to your computer and then still search for it
Oh,
from
because
online.
You uninstall it from the app, so
it's
it's not as easy to
It's
spend the
not at
money.
your fingertip. Yeah.
that's
because
true.
right on the app you can be in the restroom and keep buying stuff, right? But when you're not in the restroom, how much are you earning? So so 1 month, 1 month, and sometime
Yeah.
when you save it, guess what? And the how do you say, the macro behind over there, the algorithm, they say you save it. Sometimes they start decreasing the price just for you, and they'll tell you, oh, this item drop at $1 or 50 cents from. Don't think
Mm-hmm.
like it decreases the price for everyone. It's just
Mm-hmm.
because you save it there and they want you to execute,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yes.
why they're trying to learn.
And when
But that's my tip.
I think I thought about something, I have some advertising, and
That kept
it's
coming. Yeah.
yeah.
Getting done.
Yeah, just be mindful. You have to have a
There,
game because life is a game.
there,
If you don't
there,
have your
there are
own
two
game,
things that
you
I
play
want to
people
add on
game.
it.
Go ahead.
There are two things that I want to say here. Is one is if you haven't got a Brave browser, it's advisable to go with Brave browser, because on Brave browser it diminish a little bit the advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
It diminish the advertisement. And another trick that they are playing on the consumer now is the fact that they're having buy now, pay later without credit, without interest. Buy now and pay in 4 of 6 installments without interest. So if what you want to buy is 400, they are telling you now that with only 100 right now, you can control the 400 item. So it's another trap that you have to avoid. You a lot of how marketplace, they are having that button now. Even though that they are losing more
Mhm.
money as a vendor, they want to go through that route because people, when they know that the life, how everything is getting expensive, they want to trick you, and you might think that it's cheaper for you to buy. So you have to pay attention to that one as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Fred Thomas didn't
I think
finish the
that's
last
enough
sentence that he
advice.
was. Yeah. Uh, uh, you were saying something. I was a little curious to hear the end of what you were saying when Fred Arun intervened. And I'm not sure if you still remember.
No, I think
Oh,
I
okay.
would have it. But the last thing I would like to still add is to everyone, including myself, is when we want to buy. Remember, we read book here, and they told us we have to have a budget
Mhm.
for every month, right? You have the same way we have income, and we have an idea about how much is coming in. we need to have also a rule about how much we're spending and how much we're investing or saving or rainy fund, right? So
Yeah.
whatever you want to buy, make sure it stay in your budget. If your goal is to spend no more than 300 a month, so probably you buy some of the ones, but some of the other
Mm,
ones you're not going to buy because your budget is just other than that. If you don't do
mm,
so, you spend more than what you earn, and you go a Franklin rule that we read that say you need to stay, below your mean. You need
frugal.
to spend, yeah, you need to stay frugal, right?
Mm,
So look at your budget. When you want something, you see something you want, do you have the money? Because if you don't have the money, in the US, you can still buy it, but it will cost you more in interest. And when you're in debt, you're not free. You become a slave, like the Bible say.
mm, yeah. Thank you very much. And
Absolutely.
that
Thank
that
you to
that
both of us.
was yeah. And also when we were commenting about what Giovanni was saying, uh, sometimes I like Thomas's idea when he said 1 month from his mentor Susan Orman, because sometimes you want something and you do not even have money for it, and you can even save for months to get to it. Why can't you use the same analogy as if you do not have money yet and you are going to make a decision uh, whether you really need it or you really want to spend it on this or to spend it on something else. And when you give yourself time, you definitely make a wise decision. Yeah, and the browser that Fred Arun mentioned, he gave me that browser. It helps a lot. I that is what I use mainly for certain things, and I'm not bombarded by any advertisements. It's very, very rare, and sometimes it even cuts into a small chunk, and you barely see a few seconds, and it is gone. So that Brave browser is really, really good. So when you escape all the bombardment from your phone by getting out of the consuming apps and you come to your browser, you can again, stay away from being dragged into wanting what you do not really need. By using that Brave browser, it's really good.
Okay. Um. So I think we made good time. We can talk more, right? Does anyone have anything else they want to contribute?
Well, we can still discuss some of these
So
proverbs
can I talk?
that's, yeah, go ahead, Thomas.
No, no. I just my because I present the book, but my personal contribution to
Mhm.
today, because this one is a kind of a little biography of a life of Benjamin Franklin, right? It's kind of talking about his life, and he gave us also prospect for the people from like Africa, who came from background where we're not like that much rich, and we're struggling, fighting, trying to figure out. And this is a case that he shows the road, like um, working hard, even if you don't make it, trying. His family was poor, but he poured in, continued struggling, fighting, and then you can see when he was in love with the daughter of the boss in Philadelphia, they scam him, right, to send him out in Europe for something that they don't have a credit and they don't have the money for. Because back then you go on a ship 2 months or 3 months before you get over there, and he stays. By the time he's back, that girl is already married. So just teaching us we need to fight this life and not only be rich, but the next generation has to figure out, because it look like when you have money when you have something, some door can open to you and you go to the next level, you can, get out of that circle of poverty. Because today we're not talking about his brother, we're not talking about his parent, we're just talking about him because he's the one, against every odds. They have like 70 children and he was the 15. So guess how difficult it was. So it's a call for us in this group that when I was reading his background, it's a call for us to learn about money. We're learning about communication, but we need to also learn a lot about money, how to get the money, how to keep it, and how to grow it. We need to, if we have money, I think we resolve it's money all. We talked about it last time, but we need to have that because when you don't have it, some door don't open and you dress like like someone who is poor most of the time. So just my personal call for Shrel, Beyond, Giovannia, the people who are young here, who has more years and more time, whatever Nasif talked about that Franklin did, we need to figure out how to do it, to put money somewhere that gonna grow. And when you reach 40, 50, you have enough reserve than us. That should be our success, right? You have 20 years, 30 years behind, that should be our success for you guys to. It's not like we the older people gonna die poor, but there is more opportunity for you from what we learn because you can do more. You have more time, but statistically, right? So that's my contribution to not give up whatever the condition is to fight. There is a way out. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yep.
you, Thomas.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. So I'll say it's 10 o'clock. So I'll
Yeah,
just
there's a one of the it's 10 o'clock already.
yeah.
Oh,
Time
oh.
That
flies
means
when
it
you're
was
having
it
fun.
was very
No,
interesting
it's
and learning.
9:59.
Hmm?
There's one of
Go
the
ahead.
proverb here I want to share, and
Okay.
it says, "Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, and half shut afterward."
Wow. Read it again.
And have it shut afterward.
Half shut. So it's a Proverb
Half.
309. Keep your eyes wide open
Mm-hmm.
before marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and a half shut
Okay, half shut.
afterward. Half shut. So close half of them afterward. So be a
So
detective,
be aware.
a big detective before marriage. That is it. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, okay. So
that is awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
And I
next
presume
week,
that is for the men, not for lady necessary, because we
Hey!
men.
Yeah. Back in the day, women don't work.
Uh-huh.
but it's a different world now.
So it's for the men. Yeah. Nowadays, you
And
have to be careful. If your girlfriend or boyfriend has student loan, how much he has before you get engaged.
mhm,
Thomas, you keep saying that.
No, if you marry someone, a girl or a man, and he has 300, he's coming with 300 or 400,000 loan, he better has a career that is bringing that much volume of flow.
mhm,
Also, other than that, as a couple, what I've seen here, you spend a few years focus on paying that thing off. After you pay the student loan off, they file for divorce, and you cannot claim that through divorce proceeding. That money is gone. That is the expense. So we need to be. That's why we are here, right? So
oh
if
yeah.
you have enough and your daughter or your son gonna get married, you put prenup there. You don't want someone to come and just wipe out what you spend your whole life to gather.
Mhm.
He's not. If you look at his life, right? They sent him to
Yeah.
Europe because he was poor. So they get the daughter married to someone else.
Thank
Okay.
Because
you
the
for the
Just,
advice.
yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you,
So
Thomas.
Just
next
to say,
week,
yeah, be wise.
Okay,
am
sure,
I
go
clear?
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next
go ahead.
week, I'll be
Yeah.
presenting The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate. Um, so this book is just about like the critiques. It's a critique on what our ideal of normal, right, and how people have different health what is it called, different stages of recovery, and everyone you'd consider normal has something that takes them a little bit off that center, right? So it came out in 2022. I'll be presenting it next week. It says Chopi will be adjudicating, is that correct?
Yes.